Happy Wednesday night, everyone. Welcome to Deep in the Plus. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside, and tonight we're going to be talking about a DCOM classic, and we've reassembled the ill-fated team from Brink to bring you
Ridiculous.
to bring
Ill-fated.
you this amazing review of Alley Cat's Strike. Oh Lord, hold on to your hats. Starting with Mr. Patrick Hackett.
What's up, Slick?
And okay, and Desi.
That's how I roll.
That's okay. Well, you know what, guys? We have to have a really good show tonight because I bet West Appleton that we would make them 100 apple milkshakes if we don't do well. So we really need to get this one right tonight, okay?
And they
Let's
get
do
to
it.
name the network.
Yes. It's going to be fantastic. So
We have to throw them a parade.
So this is a movie we talked about a while ago. I think, Patrick, you brought it up first. You were like, Alley Cat Strike, and I was like,
Yes.
what? And then we were talking about doing something, and everybody kept going Brink, and we're like, no, we've done Brink. We're not going to do Brink it back.
should.
Is that your hashtag?
We should
We're not
bring
going
it
to do
back.
Brink it back.
Yeah.
But this is 2 years later, Alley Cat Strike. Why do you connect with this one, dude? What is the secret here?
Man, I think it's ska music. I think that I have an unnatural obsession with like Real Big Fish and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and I think just hit me in the right spot. I think it came out this is bad. I think it came out my freshman year at college, and it still had a tremendous impact on me. Well past the time I should be watching DComs, but yeah, no, this is a classic.
Yeah, that's the impression that I get.
Nice.
Oh, I love that song.
But and Desi, is this just? I mean, do you have an attachment to this one at all? It came out 2 years after your beloved Brink. Is this something
I
that
mean,
you cared about at the time?
it's not as good as Brink. His hair's not as good as Brink, but it's still pretty good. And his hair is still pretty good. I actually took bowling as a class in high school, and I bowled at least once a week in college. So that's I mean, I got my bowling shoes here ready to go. I'm ready at any moment to go bowling and take Patrick
And
on.
as both of you have noted, I am an incredible bowler.
Right, because we've seen it in action. We went to Splitsville for your birthday,
Yes.
specifically to see you bowl. That's the only reason I showed up, not for the bowling alley sushi. It was just to see you bowl.
They did not have any bowling alley sushi in this movie. Very disappointing.
That's not the only thing that's disappointing about this movie.
Whoa! You settle
oh,
down.
How
Too soon.
dare I? This is labeled on Disney Plus as it's great. I love this cover image here. The kids, they're so happy. But it's labeled on Disney Plus as a sports movie, drama,
Yep.
and coming of age.
Absolutely.
And check. I mean, obviously, all of these things are met. It was pretty exciting, but you know, there's nothing like the smell of bowling shoes in the morning. That's what I always say. But let's get into this movie. So again, this is a DCOM. We haven't had a lot of luck with DCOMs. I mean, High School Musical, maybe.
I just want to say something about Brink from our wonderful Eric, discussing shows that were shown during the marathon. The bad part about that is if it was split out, you won't be able to provide true analytics for how many people engage with
Yep.
the content in real time. So if 1,000
Truth.
people were watching live, we likely didn't capture that because the show is too long for YouTube to handle. So we could have released a standalone video after the fact with its own analytics, which would likely not be compelling.
It's an
Mic
Brink
drop.
was a hit.
it's an
was.
interesting theory. However, other things that we have also done during the marathon and then released later did well. Everything else from that specific marathon that was released separately did well. I mean, again, it's an interesting theory. You know, you guys can keep brinking it back all you want to, you know, but it's just not. It's not
We're
a
just
thing.
gonna
Let's talk
show
about
up
Alley
on a
Cat
Wednesday
Strike,
night
though.
without
Let's
you.
just let's just wipe the slate clean and
Okay.
go Alley Cat Strike here. I mean, I
Yeah.
came dressed in the bowling shirt. When it starts out, it's a basketball movie.
Yeah.
That's
kinda,
right.
because it's East Appleton and West Appleton are fighting for that golden apple. So I guess that's a thing.
The
And then,
least impressive
They're like
trophy ever.
I mean, it's just
they're
as good as the
they're
Stanley
like
Cup.
the what is it, Aphrodite and who's the other one who are fighting for the golden apple? It's a very Greek thing.
You know what? Do
Hercules.
mythology on your own dime. We're talking decoms tonight, okay? All right, that's what we're talking about tonight. The interesting thing about this is there's always a thing, right? There's always a timer, a countdown. We've got to get this done. We've got to get that done. In this one, there's two fronts. There's a flimsy. We've got to save the bowling alley. It's like they don't lean into that too much, but it's mentioned enough. But then there's also we've got to bring the golden apple back to West Appleton, and it's a weird thing because the towns are merging, and they've got this one last, or the schools are merging, sorry, and they've got this one last hurrah to see who is the final owner of this apple trophy. And honestly, it's weird to me that this is all over a junior high school basketball
Right?
game, not like a high school game, or it's a junior high. Why is that, Patrick?
I don't know. Upon this rewatch, I was shocked that it was a junior high. I'm like, did I misremember that it was high school this whole time? And also, how big is Appleton that they had two junior highs with full on teams and bowling clubs and a
And two
storied
mayors.
athletic history?
Right, two mayors. That's the other thing too, is like it reminded me of, I assume you guys have watched Parks and Rec, and then Parks and Rec where you've got Eagleton and Pawnee, and then Pawnee and Eagleton hate each other, but then they end up merging. Oh, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, they end up merging. And so that's kind of what the vibes I was getting here with this, like, our Appleton's better than your Appleton. And they go and they show these signs, and the sign says, this is the side of Appleton where we make the best apple pies, and this is the side of Appleton where we make the best apple cider. Okay. So again, Desi, as a kid, who were you rooting for? I mean, you had to be rooting for East Appleton, right?
I mean, did they give you any other choice? We never got to meet the kids from West Appleton, so I guess I had to root for East Appleton.
Wasn't it the other
Flip
way
it.
around?
Flip it. Flip it.
Oh,
We're with
sorry.
West Appleton.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're with West. See, that was a joke, that the East Appleton thing, because yeah, it's kind of like stormtroopers, right? We hate the stormtroopers because they're faceless. We don't know what they look like under those helmets. We don't humanize them. We don't humanize the folks
I mean,
from West Appleton. We just put them in green jumpsuits and just ignore them because they're the enemy, and we're all about now I'm confused. We're all about West Appleton. The West Appleton Wildcats in red and white.
What team?
Patrick.
Yeah.
Wildcats.
What team?
I mean, is
Yeah.
this a coincidence?
know.
Are you guys gonna start singing?
We're all in this.
No.
Oh,
We'll get.
no, we're
we'll
not.
Get taken
We're
right
not.
off the air.
What are you? That's crazy. I just thought that was funny. That, I mean, all the things that you could possibly do, but then at the very end, when they're like, "We're the Alley Cats," I was like, "Wait a minute, Alley Cats, Wildcats? What is that? Why they're called the Alley Cats? They're the bowling Wildcats, and they're the Alley Cats,
I put that together this one too.
right?"
I
'Cause I was like,
did not
if
put
they're
that together until right now.
So you
If
didn't
they're
put it
East
together
High,
at
they should
all.
Be like Eagles or something, right? The alliteration. No,
Yeah,
they're
you
the
would think so.
Wildcats. Yeah,
What team?
Wildcats. Game,
So
Rob. We're talking about Alley Cat Straight.
yes, we are. So again, it starts off as a basketball game, and then there's this group of kids who they're the outsiders. They're like the wild bunch because they love 50s stuff and poodle skirts and bowling.
They're hipsters.
And well, aren't they swing kids, Patrick?
I don't. I would watch that term. I don't know if that's that's.
Doesn't feel
Let's
good.
go with
Doesn't feel good.
hipsters. Hep cats. They're hep cats.
The Hep Cats. Okay. Yeah, some of that was a little cringy. Like that we're leaning into the whole that this is their culture, but it's
Yeah.
fine. But so they're the outsiders, and the entire rest of the world, other than these four kids, is all about this Appleton versus Appleton rivalry. As long as the West Appleton Wildcats win this big basketball game, then it's going to be a tie, and there's a tiebreaker. And as they're talking about this, and I got to tell you too, I've never seen this movie before. I
What?
watched this for you guys. I watched this
Oh.
for you. Yeah, yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And so when I'm watching this movie, I'm like, okay, there's so much foreshadowing. It's so in your face, and I'm like, is it because it was a decom back in the year 2000, and that's how the writing was? They were like, you know what, we don't need to write too complicated here, guys, for this crew. Make it surface simple. But when they would do things like, oh, there's something in the old charter, and we've never needed it before, so we'll wait till tomorrow to find out how we do a tiebreaker between the two sides. No one's ever looked at it. We'll just wait till tomorrow. I'm like, it's going to be bowling, right? 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 It's bowling,
It's gotta be bowling,
right?
right?
It's going to be bowling, right? It's going to be, and then boom, it's bowling. And then like the thing with the 7-10 split, and he can't pick it up, and he can't pick it up, and he can't pick it up. I'm like, is this going to come back in the big game? And then they're like, oh, and substitutions. Don't forget there's a substitution. Everybody gets a substitution. Wonder what's going to happen there. I mean, Desi, like as you're watching it back now, do you go, wow, this was like paper thin?
It was super, super predictable. And also, I didn't think that wearing bowling shirts and enjoying bowling and listening to swing music was that weird for kids at this time. I mean, when the
No.
singer of Smash Mouth died recently, I went back and rewatched all of those music videos. He wears a bowling shirt in literally every single music video that they have because that was the style back then. And swing music, like Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, like that was all super popular at this time. So these kids aren't like ooh, they're so different, they're so edgy. No, that's just what was popular at that time. So I don't know why they were trying to make this like wow, look at them, they're so different. But I did appreciate how they brought in the Backstreet Boys when they were talking about why can't you guys just listen to the Backstreet Boys? Because
Or Savage Garden or Aerosmith.
that's right.
Did you know you could
Who I
you
loved
could
all
ride
of
the
them.
Rock and Roller Coaster over at Walt Disney World in Disney MGM Studios, featuring music by Aerosmith? I was waiting for that part. The
Well,
popular music was actually, I feel, less cool than the music that the other kids were listening to. Like, come on, we're really going with Savage Garden? Oh, God.
I loved Savage Garden. Come on. Truly,
All
madly,
right,
deeply.
that's fine.
It's
You don't
bad
have to
music.
love Savage Garden. It's fine. So let me ask you this then. Did you pick up the Dead Poets Society reference?
No.
But that's because I haven't seen Dead Poets Society, so.
Oh, okay. So 1998, which
I
is
mean, it
I
wasn't a
believe
decom, so why would I?
but it was a Touchstone film, correct? Am I correct
No
in
one,
thinking that?
no one had feathered enough hair for Desi.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like it was a Touchstone film. It was Touchstone Pictures. Um, there's the whole bit where they stand on top of the desks and go, "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
Oh, yes, yes.
And so it was right when they were in the hallway and they're picking the co-captain because Todd was going to be the captain and they're picking the co-captain. He goes, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," and or he goes, "You think they'll say, 'Oh, Captain, my Captain?'" And then they kind of walk off. And I'm like, okay, that's a Dead Poets Society reference for sure because that was probably filmed like while that was still the was up of that era, right? Because people said that all the time. That whole like that
Did
thing.
they?
So I feel like that's probably the "Oh, Captain, my Captain" thing. People love Dead Poets Society. Like, I guess unless you didn't have a heart or were like a 12-year-old girl, apparently. Um,
I was in high school.
you saw it though, right? No, you said you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Is it because you hated Robin Williams or Ethan Hawke?
I like both of those actors, but
Okay.
maybe my
Ethan
parents
Hawke
thought it
did have
was
feathered
too grown
hair.
up for me.
Yeah. Too grown up for you?
Hmm.
I don't know if it's on. It is not on Disney Plus. Or man, that was going to be the next one. But anyway, you were talking about synergy, Patrick, and that's where I was thinking
Yeah,
maybe there was a little bit of
yeah.
synergy happening there too because they were talking about them. I
Well,
don't know.
also another touchstone picture, Swingers, the 1996 movie starring Vince Vaughn and John Favreau, famously wearing bowling shirts and listening to, you know, ska swing music, was also very popular. So I'm with Desi. Like, these guys and gals were not that unpopular. I just think that this is a really, really tired script.
There were some other things that happened too. By the way, your money, baby. I just want you to know that, Patrick. You are money.
You're so money.
Um,
Just get me
then
pancakes in the age of enlightenment.
there you go. But one of the things that that they did that was I don't know. It felt a little weird. Is the whole like Parker? I mean, not what was it? Saved by the Bell, where he's like timeout, and they kind of did that a
Yeah,
couple times where
Oh
they just did the
yeah.
freeze, and he's like, "I know what you're thinking now,"
it
and I'm like,
irritated my daughter so much. Daddy, why'd the movie stop? I'm like, because sometimes in the 90s and 2000s, characters in the movie had the ability to stop the movie or television show. It was a thing. I'm sorry. I don't know why Rubble doesn't pause and take a look and talk directly to you, babe. It's just, it's what was going on then.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was one of those things that felt very like it would have been played out by 2000. But it was the just the pause thing where it's like we're talking about a decom, I get it, but we're talking about a movie on Disney and something that they should have given a good amount of money to make it happen, and that was the kind of the plot device they use is or the storytelling device is to pause and then it's just frozen for a little bit and then tell a little bit of dialogue and like, oh, I know what you're thinking about this 7-10 split, or I know what you're thinking about this other thing. So the characters were a little too in your face too, I think, as we go through this. Todd, who is the jock that
Golden
everybody
boy.
loves, he's the captain of every team, not just the basketball team, but like every team. His dad is the mayor, and so like there's so much pressure on him to do well, but he's just a great guy, and everybody loves him, and
I feel like
apparently has
that was a big trope back then, with the dads putting pressure on the golden child, like Freddie Prince Jr. and She's All That, or
Troy
wasn't that
Bolton.
something similar in like
Friday Night
Varsity
Lights, I
Blues?
don't want
Yeah,
your life. Not Friday Night
that's
Lights,
it.
Varsity Blues.
It
Whatever.
was one of them.
Football movies in Texas all run together.
Yeah, no, you're right. But Todd has a lot of pressure on him. Venus Flytrap is very adamant that he be the town hero. That's the WKRP reference with Tim Reed.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Uh,
But again,
which, by the way, the director of this directed several episodes of WKRP in Cincinnati.
oh yeah, do you think that's why Tim Reed was in it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't Tim Reed the dad on Sister Sister?
Yep.
Okay, so
Also acting in this movie with his real life wife.
okay,
That's
there you
pretty
go.
cool.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I have questions when we get to the end, like actual
you
questions for
do.
you two that I
Oh,
need someone to
I thought we
explain
were
to me and figure
trivia.
out. But no,
Okay.
that's fine. It's fine. So it's not the trivia thing, but that's going to happen too. So buckle up. What I was going to say was that you know, he's got a lot of pressure on him, and then like he kind of tries to be nice to these outsider kids, these bowling kids, while his friends are being mean. Now he doesn't like save them too much, but he's definitely trying to be the nice guy. I feel like Todd is trying to hold it together for most of it until he interacts with the other kids, which happens when we find out that the way that we're going to settle this is through bowling, and that he has somehow his name was put on the bowling club list. And the rule is it has to be everyone who signed up for the bowling club at the beginning of the semester. And so he's going to be on, and it's because his friends had put him on the list, and he doesn't know anything about bowling. But he likes to be a winner, and he shows up, and he's cocky against them. And that's that frustrating, again, that trope of like, oh, you're the outsider kids and I'm the cool kid, and they don't like him and he doesn't like them, but they're gonna have to find common ground so they can work together. Does that not get exhausting at some point?
I mean, it's a lot of decoms. It's a whole lot of decoms.
Yeah.
That is. You might not be surprised that the writer of Alley Cat Strike also wrote Little Big League, which is another similar Outcast story. And yeah. I mean, this is what you stick with it, tried and true. I mean, look at Descendants. Descendants is the same way. Group of outcast kids trying to get in with the popular kids. And then some of the popular kids become outcasts. And what does that do to them? And lather, rinse, repeat. I mean, there's only like 9 stories you can tell.
But let's talk about, though, what a player in just regular life Todd is. He wants to get on Alex's good side, so he gets him invited to the cool kids party. And then basically, tell me I'm wrong here, I feel like he basically pimps his girlfriend out to Alex. It didn't feel good.
No.
At the dance, he's like, he looks over, she's like, do you want to
It's a
dance? And
little
he goes,
awkward.
no. And he kind of motions over, and
Gives
she
a
goes,
head nod, yeah.
Alex, do you want to dance? And I'm just like, oh, this feels bad. This feels bad. This didn't hit you, Desi? You were like going, oh.
No, it felt very awkward, and I was like, where are they going with this? Like, why would he want his girlfriend to dance with this other guy? I don't know. It felt weird.
Yeah. Michael in chat says, I thought the writer's strike was over. I guess because this is Alley Cat's strike now? This is weird timing,
I don't think
though.
anybody's
You're right.
getting any money from this. I think we're okay. I don't think the WGA is coming after Deep in the Plus for promoting AMPTPM whatever products.
I thought that the joke was that the Alley Cat strike and the SAG actor strike and the writer's
I thought
strike.
maybe he thought writers shouldn't go on strike because of how poorly written this is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's bad.
So let's talk about so before we find out that the way this is all going to work is from bowling. We go to the bowling alley. We meet Alex and his friends and his dad. And while we're there, we find out that his dad is running this bowling alley, but it's not going so well because literally no one comes in other than the 4 of them the entire time up until
And yet they have a
the big
huge
party.
house.
This is what I'm asking you. What the heck? Like, they're all just like chilling out in the bowling alley and everything's always free. And by the way, where's like the snack bar and everything? They've just got 2 really bad pinball machines, it looks like, and that's about it. That's no way to run a bowling alley.
Snacks.
You need snacks. You need snacks, exactly.
You need
Yeah. So, but
The
good.
the dad being down on his luck with the situation was also in Brink. So
Oh yeah.
it's like they took something from every previous decom and just tried to smush it all together.
Wait a minute. Was there a writer strike during this time? In 2000?
I think it was a little later.
Yes. Yes, there
There
was.
was one close to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because that's like Survivor and Big Brother and all those shows started to really get popular right around that time of that writer strike.
So they're probably like,
So,
hey,
yeah.
we've already got this script somewhere, and somebody cobbled it together from a whole bunch of other decoms. So we've got a stack of them somewhere. Let's just make this bowling movie happen. You know what though? The core kids, the 4 kids, I thought, or actually, I guess the 5 kids, if we throw Todd in there, I thought did an okay job acting wise. I'm not sure the rest of them did. Like the big kid at the party who was like,
Oh,
bowling
Bubba's
guy,
great. How dare you?
bowling
dude!
guy.
Ugh, love Bubba. Love me some
Okay.
Bubba.
I think generous to the 4 kids or 5 kids.
I also
But-
agree. I think generous to the
But
4
Kaylee
kids.
Cuoco is exactly Kaylee Cuoco. I mean, she's like the only one who actually got big deal after this, and mostly just because of Big Bang. But obviously, she was in like 8 Simple Rules and a couple other things. But she's exactly the same. I feel like I could hear
never
her
watched
going
Big
instead of
Bang.
Alex saying Leonard. Like it felt very
Yeah, I've
similar.
never actually watched Big Bang. I don't like shows that tell me I have to laugh at certain times.
Oh, with laugh tracks. Okay. Yeah.
The
But
Alley Cats let me decide when I laugh.
but the rest of the actors are still acting now, so that works.
Are they?
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of them were in CS,
Lauren's done
CSIs
a
of one
lot.
sort or another. Yeah. So we move through this, and they get grouped up, and Alex goes to the party, and of course the whole typical thing that happens in these kind of movies where the fame gets to his head a little bit, and he's too good for his friends, and so he misses the night at the diner, but they're still there with him, and
Obviously.
he has to make the grand apology to them, and all of those things that actually we've
Feels
seen happen a
like
million
it came
times.
from Brink.
Yeah, right? It very well could have. So, are you saying that that this that Brink rolled so this could walk?
Yes,
Because that's
exactly.
what it felt like. Here's another question for you guys: why was the mom gone the entire movie? Like, why did we have the
Right?
mom
I was
character in the
wondering that
first
too.
place?
She was with Grandpa
Why?
But what? But why? But why?
because he was
Why
in the
was that
hospital
important?
But
for
why?
a leg-related thing. I don't know.
You don't
Hip
know that. It's just
replacement?
because he showed up with crutches. I know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, why bother with that character? Like, you've already not introduced the mom in this, and
I mean, it's a
so
Disney movie. We could just assume she's dead. That's just how
exactly,
it rolls. Yeah.
exactly, yes, she was
Well,
run over by a stampede of wildebeests.
when he said like, "Oh, your mom is with her dad," I thought that meant like mom had run off and she's living at her parents' house. Like I didn't realize at first that, oh no, it's because grandpa is sick or has a leg injury.
I thought it
Um,
meant in
I was
heaven.
Yeah. Yep. Me too.
I
I
mean,
forgot when she came back at the
she,
end. I was like, oh, I
she's
guess
with
she's alive.
grandpa now.
And your dog. They're all at a farm having the
There's a
best
rainbow
time.
bridge and no, I but
oh,
again, there was no reason stop it, Desi. There was no reason for this to for I don't know, that's just like it seemed extraneous. We've already got too much to wrap up in this fact that again, we're on two fronts here. We've got to save the bowling alley and we've got to save the cheerleader. Wait, no, no. We've got to save the
Different movie.
cheerleader, save the world. No, we've got to save the
Different thing.
bowling alley and we've got to get the
Win the
trophy. And
apple.
so right. And so both of these things have to happen. And also, we need to worry about where mom and grandpa are. Like that little scene didn't need to happen with them reuniting because she comes in, she gives them a hug. Grandpa bowling with his cane or his crutches at the end. Like that didn't need to. I don't know. It just seemed extraneous. I don't know why you needed to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's a
Yeah.
decom. Most decoms are 90 minutes. This was an hour 27 runtime, just so that it fits into that 2 hour window on Disney Channel. But yeah, again, I just was like, why are we even bothering with mom? You didn't even have to tell me mom was around. Like I didn't. She could have been a shadow in the window. We didn't need to know what was going on there.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, sorry, I
It's all
digress.
good.
mom
Um,
must be making some bank though for dad
that's
to
it.
be
Yes,
Yeah.
just
for dad to just
running
putter around the
this
bowling alley.
bowling alley with only his son and three friends there, and he doesn't make his son pay. So, mom, I'm assuming, is very successful. Maybe she's got a lot of money that she's inherited from grandma, and she's up taking care of grandpa to get the rest of that money uh,
You,
once
so,
grandpa's gone.
are you suggesting
That's
she was trying to bump off Grandpa?
I'm just saying she's getting on grandpa's good side to make sure that she gets left in the will so that she can pay for her husband's crazy bowling addiction.
But that's the thing too, right? Like the bowling alley hasn't been making money for who knows how long, which also requires you to spend money to keep the bowling alley going. But also, you made a good point. They have a nice house, although it is in Canada, so I assume houses cost like $1 a month or something up there because everything's so good.
Was it in Canada?
It was all
Is
shot in
that
Canada. It was
I
all
didn't
shot
okay?
in
know that.
Canada.
Because it felt very New England to me. I
I,
felt at home in Appleton. You
I thought
know?
it was New England as well.
That would be
Yeah.
a great bumper sticker. I felt at home at Appleton. That's exactly. Um,
I mean, it's
all
got
right.
apple pie. You think American when you think apple pie.
No,
And
we're known for
cider.
apple
I love
cider
me
on
some
our side.
cider.
Apple cider.
Yeah.
40 gallons of apple cider for 40 apple
Apple
pies.
pies.
And
Yeah.
by the way, that's a terrible deal. Like 40 gallons of apple cider is so much apple cider. 40 pies, I mean, what's that enough for like 100 people?
Is
I'd eat
everybody
one.
eating half a pie?
A quarter. Everybody's getting like a quarter pie.
And drinking a
All right, maybe
gallon
200
of
people.
apple cider. Um,
Yeah.
Patrick, maybe you can help me out. I don't have a date for the bowling ball.
It's a Friday. Oh, that's like it's on a Friday. I'm going with Lauren actually.
Are
Lauren
you?
asked me at a party. Yeah.
Don't believe it, man. She is all she is all talk, man.
Todd told Lauren it was cool. You know,
oh,
she asked me
okay.
to dance. Yeah. Ugh, it's so gross.
Right? It was bad. It was, it was really bad. Yeah, it didn't feel good at all. Speaking of things that might not be good, let's do some trivia. And by the way, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Please give us a thumbs up, as that helps people find us. And for gosh sakes, Alley Cat Strike could be the next Brink. We don't know. So just please give us a thumbs up. And maybe play along in the chat, because you guys love this movie. You were so excited to watch this movie. So I thought, let me just grab a little trivia that I see as a first-time watcher and see how much you know. And you may know all of it. You may know all of it. You ready?
I doubt that.
You might.
We'll see.
As always, I'm ready.
Elisa, Kaylee Cuoco's character. What is the street address of her house?
Come on. No idea.
How could you not know, man?
I thought you were going to ask her
1, 2,
last
3.
name, and I
wouldn't have known
IMDb
the last
open.
name either.
Oh, you had
Hours.
IMDb open. Well, now why would I do that if IMDb was that easy? Here's why that one stood out to me is that it's just real big. It's just real big on the side of her house. It's just there. It's just huge. It just says 20. What's your address? My address is 20.
Really small number for an address.
Right? Yeah. Bonus points would have been if you were to have known Alex's, which is 23. He's across the street. So odd on one side, even on the other. That pans out. That tracks. That's fine.
Yes, that is usually how street addresses work. Thank you, Rob.
I don't know how they work in Canada. So.
David Long in chat said 12 Cheesecake Factory Drive. Do you remember? You didn't watch. Did you watch Big Bang Theory at all, Desi?
No, but
how is it the most popular show of
like
all time, and I'm the only one that's seen it ever? How is that a thing?
I only watch whatever you tell me to watch, so.
And it's not. Yeah, it's on HBO Max. By the way, it's not on Disney Plus. It's on HBO Max. In that show, Penny, who is Kaylee Cuoco's character, works at the Cheesecake Factory, and it's the worst representation of the Cheesecake Factory ever. It looks like Denny's. It really does, and it's like Cheesecake Factories are known to be overly ornate buildings and places, and it's just ridiculous. And she's basically wearing like an IHOP outfit at a Denny's. It's weird. So the fact that she's at the Cheesecake, Dave, that was a really good one. I like that one. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
No.
You ready?
No,
You're ready.
no.
You're ready. This is easy. What are the call letters, Patrick, of the radio station?
WWAP, where West Appleton plays.
This guy. I knew radio would get you. I knew you would know that. Did you know that one, Desi? WWAP?
She is frozen.
She's so, yeah. She's like, have you ever had a frozen apple pie? Like, it's that kind of frozen.
Oh, I do like frozen apple pie.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Frozen? It's 10 years old. Can you believe that it's 10 years old, the movie Frozen?
It actually feels older than that, but sure.
Yeah. Talk to me about everything you love about Frozen.
No, we're on one of my favorite movies, which is so very bad, and it's called Alley Cat Strike. And I paid, once again, attention to a lot of numbers, but apparently not street addresses.
Not that one. All right, okay, I'll get another number for you. She was so freaked out by trivia, she was like, pause.
No.
She was probably having her own Alley Cats moment. Time out.
Yeah.
Time out.
You may have wondered how I got in here with these two idiots. But...
Let's rewind to the beginning, and I'll tell you the whole story. Todd McLemore, my God, what an amazing athlete. What was his number in basketball? See, that one I knew you'd know because we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Um, Desi,
Oh Lord.
you love East Appleton. What is the mascot for East Appleton? What is their team name?
The wolf pack?
Yep, he's doing the little Wolfpack thing too. You didn't see it, but he was doing it too. So yeah, there you go, the Wolfpack. Um, the cool kids all like to hang out at Tony's, which that makes sense. That tracks. Tony's Lasagna Heaven. Uh,
That's a great name.
right. Tony's Lasagna Heaven. The
Try our pizza.
the the bowling kids, they like to hang out at the diner. What's the name of the diner?
Nancy's Diner. Nancy's
Yes.
the waitress. Yeah.
Yes. How did you know that? That's very good.
Oh, this is the first time I've ever watched the movie directly before coming onto the show, and it's super fresh. The day before stuff gotta go. I need to watch this immediately before the show.
Okay, so Alex
Sharp.
Alex wears a lot of bowling shirts, right? He
Yeah.
wears a lot of bowling shirts, and I was promised that Patrick would be coming on with a bowling shirt, so I put mine on,
Yeah.
and then here we are.
Fun story
So-
about that is I couldn't decide, and then I forgot. So I was all set.
Not really a
had
fun
to-
story. It's not fun.
No,
I
not
don't-
really.
I don't think it
Yeah.
is. I don't.
I
Yeah,
brought my
no.
bowling shoes.
Yes.
I
let's-
couldn't even
let's take-
find anything bowling related. I don't have anything from Splitsville. It's very upsetting. I love Splitsville.
This is the closest thing to a bowling shirt I could find.
Who are you, the lead singer of Smash Mouth? All right, so Alex loves bowling shirts, and he's going through all of his. The very first one he puts on at the beginning of the movie. What is the name on that one?
Ruth.
Tex?
No. No,
Beth.
Texas. That's the wrong reference because it's like you look like a Tex.
Oh.
Are you just running through names?
It was a Golden Girls S name. What was it? An older lady's name. Barbara. Barb. Donna.
Now, Ruth was one of the names, so you did see the Ruth one. That was a thing that actually happened, but that's not the one he put on. The yellow one that
Good.
he put on, because they do like kind of circle in on that, on the Ruth shirt. But the yellow one that he put on,
Max.
Max. I knew it was a
Max.
short name. That's why I guessed Bud.
I did love the line though where he says, he's like, "Is it true that you got all your clothes from the back? You found them in the back of the bowling alley?" And he said, "No, but I did find them from a catalog that I found in the back of the bowling alley." That was fun. No,
That's a good line.
nobody else.
Good line.
They
I
looked
liked
like
it.
they were all from Goodwill and they had somebody else's name on them. Is that how he ordered
Yeah.
them out of the catalog? That's kinda
Pre-named.
weird. Pre-named with somebody else's name? Or did he choose Max? I don't know.
I don't know either, but I will tell you this also is that just because I was looking for this earlier, Desi, he didn't wear a lot of bowling shirts. The guy from Smash Mouth, it was a lot of T-shirts.
Look at the music videos. I swear he's wearing bowling shirts and like every
There's one right there where he's very un-Disney like. With the
Just putting that out there.
maybe
I like the
maybe
one
you
where-
were thinking of Bare Naked Ladies. Bare Naked Ladies wear a lot of bowling shirts.
I mean, it's all been done.
Or
Anyway,
Another great
All right,
band.
so one one more I've got for you. You ready?
oh yeah.
I don't know that you'll know this. So it's East Appleton Junior High. Again, let's remember that this is all riding on the kids at a junior high. It's East Appleton Junior High and West Appleton Junior High. And at the end, they decide to call it Appleton Central, which makes sense.
Yep.
But what was the name of the school supposed to be?
Whatever school won. It was gonna
No,
they were gonna
before-
go with
before-
that one.
Before Venus Flytrap started making all the deals.
Millard Fillmore. High
Just
school.
Appleton.
Really?
Appleton Junior High.
Just Appleton Junior High.
No,
You
it was a president, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't a president.
No. All right.
It was New Appleton Junior High.
That's a dumb name. That's a
Well,
dumb
you know
Yeah.
what?
name.
That's why I like
And
that they
it
came up with the whole Appleton Central at the end. That was, that was a good move from them. So that's all I got for you. That's pretty painless. Patrick got a bunch of
I
them.
thought you were gonna ask what athletes he told he was gonna be. So it was like Mark McGuire, John Elway. I forgot who they used for basketball.
Michael Jordan.
And he goes, "Oh, you forgot
Mark
Tiger
McGuire.
Woods and Wayne Gretzky."
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, sorry. I was thinking Mark McGrath. Mark McGrath wore a lot of bowling shirts too.
Mark McGrath did wear a lot of bowling shirts. I guarantee if we could get Mark McGrath in this square down here, Mark McGrath would be an Alley Cat Strike fan. He would also talk to us about Epcot nonstop because he's probably visited more than any of us.
Well,
I go
the other
visit every
question that I
time they're
was
there.
going to ask you is what kind of shoes Max wears. I mean, not Max, Alex. Max was his name on his
Bowling
shirt.
shoes, Rob.
No, he wears
shoes.
Vans.
Vans.
He wears Vans.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. All right, that's on brand. That's on
Yeah.
point.
Also something
you
that
go.
was super popular then. So I don't know why they made it out like he's this like weird kid who does all of these strange things that aren't popular when
Yeah.
all of this stuff was popular at that time.
Yeah, I remember bowling was really popular. We would hang out in the bowling alley when they would do like the cosmic bowling nights, and you win money when special pins popped up.
One of my first dates ever, I went to a bowling alley because they said they had a senior special, like 50% off for seniors. We showed up and we're like, do we get 50% off? And the bowling alley people looked at us like, what? And so we showed our student IDs like, see, we're seniors.
And please tell me they gave it to you anyway for being so bold.
They gave
Okay,
it
I was
to
gonna say,
us.
yeah,
That's a good
that's
look.
definitely had to be a thing. So yeah, all right. So let's get back into this craziness. One of the things that happens in here as we're trying to save the bowling alley is Todd goes and fleeces the neighborhood for free stuff,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Because he's the basketball star. So, yeah, he goes and fleeces the neighborhood. And it's almost like he's teaching. It's almost like training day, right? It's like Denzel's taking this kid out. And he's like, let me show you how you work the town.
No one has ever compared Alley Cat Strike and Training Day.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, buddy.
You are
I'm
very wrong.
No.
But I laughed.
Yeah. See, now you're talking like a guy I like.
My man.
Oh my god. Okay, so anyway, they go out and they find all this stuff and they bring it back and they make the best disco bowling alley in the history. Like those had to have been new pins. The alleys had to have been lined with like professional lighting. I mean,
Galactic bowling was big back in the day.
Galactic Bowling was big.
but not something you could bring in 2 boxes of like fairy lights. You couldn't do that. Like that's what I'm saying is like it was like everybody who was a bowling like a failed bowling alley owner at this point was going, maybe we should do that. Let's do that.
That's
Let's
exactly
get the
what
cool
they
kids
did.
in town.
Sushi.
I guess. I don't know. I just thought
You
that
know
was
where a
really
bowling
funny.
alley would be really nice? At the Waldorf Astoria.
Why do you keep panning for free Waldorf Astoria?
They're
Why
gonna
do you
give me a room, Rob. I'm working on it.
No, that is not going to happen. Anyway, it's very funny to me that like whatever this like rock and jock bowling that they were able to pull out of a box, it's just ridiculous that would be a thing. And again, suspension of disbelief and whatnot. But Dad and Alex running like again fairy lights down the aisle the alley does not make that
They
happen.
did say they were getting professional lights and music. Although in
Okay.
the end, they just gave his dad a CD.
They did. But I mean, don't go changing everybody, like let them be themselves. So the whole idea of
What-
Delia
Is it a CD? I
saving
feel
the
like it
day.
looked because
Have we lost everybody again?
No,
I'm
we're
back.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
The whole idea
What
of
were you saying,
Delia
Desi?
saving. Oh no. Okay. Go ahead, Desi. Say something awesome.
No, I said I was back.
Oh,
Oh,
Something
okay.
awesome.
didn't you say? Weren't you starting to say something before?
No, I just said I was back because I think I was
Okay.
frozen for a second.
Yes. 10 years. 10 years. Frozen's been out. Just a reminder. Um, and so that's why we keep this theming so tight. Um, yeah. I don't know. I just again, it's weird that that there's like it flips back and forth about does Alex care about these other people? Does he not? How is he shoring up with his friends? I don't know. But at the very end, when Delia saves the day, was that necessary?
Yes.
Also foreshadowed. So much of it foreshadowed because it's like, don't put me in. I don't want to be in. Oh, good. I don't have to bowl. And we never see her bowl, but she's always like crunching numbers and doing the math. And then she
And
does the
she,
spin thing with the ball. And it's just like, was
So
that
my
climactic
my
or
wife
anticlimactic?
my wife hit the nail on the head with this one, and she's like, a move that every single kid our age tried at the bowling alley
definitely
and
did.
never
Yep,
ever worked.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
definitely did
It
try
had
did
it.
to
they
happen
did they do this and
because
check the air first? Did they do?
yeah, the airflow in the bowling
Okay.
alley is important.
Yeah.
But Todd needed the humility. He needed to step out of the spotlight. He needed to show his dad he was more than that. That actually, to me, is the only, even though it's very predictable, it's the only like remotely touching part of it is that he learned a lesson. He stood up to his dad a little bit, which I mean is very, decom. But I liked it. I liked that part. I think it was important.
I agree with you because there's always that time where you're like it's a little too formula, right? And sometimes when you get especially modern movies, you get to the end, you're like, well,
Oh,
it can't be that they win the first time around. It can't be that they, there has to be something else. Like the Lightning McQueen thing in Cars 3, which I don't know if everybody saw Cars 3 or nobody saw Cars 3, but Cruz Ramirez subs in for him, and still to this day, my son is angry
illegally.
Right. He's still my son's still angry about this. He's like, "How can you like so
You
I can
can't.
run a 4K and then hand it off to somebody else to run the last mile or the last kilometer and they win? Like that doesn't make any sense." So
No,
subbing her in didn't make any sense, but it couldn't have ended with with
Yeah.
Lightning winning again. It couldn't have done that. So they had to mix it up somehow even if it made 0 sense. And
I think it made
so
sense. I will defend this one move in a very by the numbers, not well written movie, which oddly enough,
no,
the
no, no,
two
no.
people who made it.
I'm agreeing with you that this
Oh,
made
okay.
sense. I'm saying in other movies it didn't. But tell me
Gotcha,
your
gotcha,
thing though.
gotcha.
I agree with that one.
I just think it needed to happen. I think it's something that separates it a little bit. It's it, somebody else needed the shine. I think it was important to the character, to the growth of the character. And I just wanted to say, like, the people who made this movie are not slouches. Gregory Pincus is the writer. Like I said, Little Big League wrote for what I liked as a kid, Godzilla, the animated series, and Extreme Ghostbusters. Wrote for both of those. Came back, did another DCOM, and wrote for My Friends Tigger and Pooh. And the director, Rod Daniel, as I mentioned, a bunch of episodes of WKRP in Cincinnati, but also the director of 1985 classic Teen Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So
tell me
decent people made this
The
movie.
you watched Godzilla the animated series.
I did watch Godzilla the animated series. I liked it a lot.
I didn't even know
As
there
soon as
was
I
a
saw he wrote that.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Tell me the name of the kid. Godzilla's kid.
In Godzilla the animated series,
Godzilla's kid.
baby Godzilla.
Godzuki.
Dr. Nick Godzuki. Oh no. This is past that. This is the newer
Oh.
version.
Oh, my bad.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
there
the
were
98
multiple
version.
versions.
Yeah.
Godzuki is Godzilla's son.
Mm.
First appeared in Godzilla versus Bulletin in 1989.
Godzilla
Learn
fought a
something new
pasta
every day.
dish.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're way off base here, but I do love that David said "ka-chow." So I mean, we got that going
Did
for us,
Lightning
which is good.
McQueen win in any of them though? Because he did not win in
I did
the
not mean for
first
that to be the
movie.
tangent. My point was that with all of these movies, like usually like a Rocky, it's like you can't have him win every match. There has to be that one where he loses, and in at the
Rocky
end of the
also
second
didn't
act.
win the first movie.
But they got to end the second act losing and then come back and win in the third act. So I did think this was a very interesting take to be able for him to go, look, I believe in my team. I'm going to tap out and I'm going to let them do the thing that I know I can't do. And you need to
Yeah.
trust me on this. So I do very much love that that's the way that this
Do you know
ended
what
it,
would make this a
ended this
better
movie.
movie? Is
Better writing,
if instead
better
of
acting.
winning, yeah, yep, okay, all those things, but like if instead of winning to send it to a tie, they lost to make it a tie. And now it's a redemption story for this kid and he gives up his spot at the end. And it teaches life lessons. I we should here's what we should really transition deep in the plus to is that we should be rebooting all these decoms and just bringing them into the modern age. So,
Okay.
Bob, call me. I know we've had our disagreements, but I like you more than Bob C. So if you want me to get on this, just let me know.
Yeah, kind of crazy. So here's the deal. What else have we not talked about? The music is the only thing that I'm feeling like we didn't really talk about, and the Alley Cat Strike theme is an exact ripoff of Jump Jive and Whale.
100% to the
Yeah,
to the point that I thought it was Jump Giant the Whale.
you thought it was Brian Setzer actually was in and singing this song,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, it was a very weird thing, and all of the music, like you said, like you guys were talking about, like the swing stuff was generic, and then the pop stuff was not great. Um, but it sounded like the montage music from every '80s movie. When they would play that that the pop stuff, it was a little weird. So I guess it was just trying to save a little money on it. So I don't think music was a driver in this one. It wasn't in most DComs unless it was actually a musical like High School
Until we got
Musical
to the
or Teen.
musicals, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So music, the cast in general, like there weren't a lot of big names in this one, but Kelly Cuoco and Tim Reed were the two that really stood out to me in general as household names almost that I knew.
Well, I mean, she wasn't at the time. It was just,
No, no, I mean now. I
the
mean like you like
yeah.
looking back on it. Yeah, you're right. At the time, she was. This was not her. Uh, this was not a thing. But
Robert Richard, who played Todd, was nominated for like an up and coming actor award after this came out, but really didn't do too much. He's done. He also had one of the starring roles in Coach Carter as Coach Carter's son.
yeah,
Um, but not a whole lot more. He's had a couple TV shows here and there, but yeah, everybody's just been, you know, doing a little bit of work. Obviously, Kelly Cuoco, the biggest star.
well, and Matt McCoy is one of those guys that I've seen, like the guy that played Daddy Thompson. He's a guy I've seen in like 9,000 things. He was in The Hand That Rocks the
He's a
Cradle. He was
that
in
guy.
Silicon Valley. Yeah, it's like hey, like Stephen Tobolowsky, like one of these guys
Yep.
that you're like, oh, I've seen him in stuff. Um, and it was really funny to me to like go, oh, that's the guy, that's that guy, but I don't know like specifically what I know him from. I just know that that's the guy who's like you said, who's in kind of a little bit of everything. He's probably been in like I'm guessing 92 Hallmark Channel movies, probably.
Well, he has
Everybody's
115 credits total, so that's a lot of Hallmark movies. Lauren's in a couple Hallmark movies. She's been doing Hallmark movies. She also was in the Jigsaw movie as well. Her name is where'd it go? Laura Vandervoort. Vander
and almost
Vander.
everybody's been in at least
Oh.
one episode of CSI of some sort.
I've been in an episode of CSI, so that makes sense.
Have you?
Wow.
Were
No,
you a cadaver?
no,
I believe you.
I
I
know. It
think
was
Chris
so.
Evans been in an episode of CSI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, again, Matt McCoy is a big actor, and he's been around a lot. It doesn't stand out as like that household name. It's like he's just that guy. So there's the cast of music, and we've talked about that the acting and the music and also the writing was a little flat, to say the least. So, but again, is there anything else before we wrap up here that you wanted to talk about, Patrick? Desi? Either of you?
This
Patrick looks like he
soundtrack
wants.
has nothing on the Brink soundtrack.
That's your statement.
Desi, are you gonna rate this movie on a
Listen,
scale of 1 to Brink?
No, are you?
we'll see.
Rob, you just need to let us do Brink again. That's what this comes down to.
Brink it back.
Bring
Why?
it back.
It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. All right, we'll do it again. Do you want to do it again during the marathon?
No, we want real numbers.
I mean, it's fine. Next week
I
we're
liked
gonna
how
start.
when
Go ahead.
I liked how when I put this movie on, like I looked for it on Disney Plus, it had or you could watch one of these instead, and Brink was the first one that popped up. Like, are you sure you want to watch
that's
this?
just a
Because you could
suggestion
watch Brink
for you.
instead.
I don't think there's an
Anytime you go to
algorithm
put
here,
something
buddy.
on Disney Plus, you get that. It's like, do you want to watch Ahsoka? What about Brink?
I honestly don't think that there's an algorithm. I don't. I think that it says, all right. I mean, this is this kind of movie. I'm gonna serve you this. I don't think it says you like this kind of movie. Then that's Patrick. You and I had talked about maybe sometime getting into the whole idea of, breaking down on an episode of Deep in the Plus, like just Disney Plus in general, like giving it a grade. Which its birthday's coming up. That wouldn't be a better time to do it than that. Is just to go through and kind of give it a grade from where it is with all the content we've lost, the content they put out that didn't hit, the stuff that's still missing. The interface itself, that might be a good conversation to have for the anniversary of Disney Plus. But one movie that Tyler, who used to watch, or I guess he a friend of the network, Colonel Tyler in his socials, he texted me last night that he and his family had just gone bowling and they came back and they watched Alley Cat Strike, and so loving that. But he said, then we watched Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
What is that?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, what is that? And it's the kind of it's a baseball prodigy who enters a bake-off.
Okay.
I don't
So
ever remember seeing this at all.
Why do they
but,
both look so awkward?
I guess
it's those awkward teen years, buddy. They'll do it to you every time.
it's similar to a basketball star playing bowling.
That's what I'm saying right there. Very similar concept. This one was 2003. It's about the same runtime. Maybe they just changed the names and ran it again. Maybe it's the same movie. I don't know. But when this movie was over, because I'm asking about the algorithm or lack thereof, what did it recommend to you guys? Like when it was over, what came full
Brink.
screen? Do you remember?
A racing movie,
like motocross,
and yeah. And then the twin basketball movie that we didn't do that one. We did.
This is the one it recommended to me after this.
Yeah,
which looks
No,
like
I didn't get that.
which looks like the
So there is an algorithm.
BMX.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not saying it's an algorithm. I think that it's like if you watched this movie, this is what you get next. Not Patrick gets this and Rob gets Bluey. I think
Desi didn't get that.
Oh, you didn't
Brink.
get that.
She got Brink.
I mean, under suggested I had Brink, but the main movie it said that. So maybe there is an algorithm then. It's not a very good one. At least we could say that. Turtle in chat says it gave me motocross also. So I think that was what it was doing. I think it serves that one up next. Disney was killing it with the Z movies. Yeah. So anyway, now that we've talked about all this, you guys are good. We can do a final wrap up here. You guys are comfortable? I want to make sure because this is your Brink makeup.
We don't need to come back to this. Whatever number this one gets, we will believe it and be true. We just want Brink to get justice. Justice for Brink. Bring it back.
Justice for
That's right.
Brink. Changing the
Hashtag bring it back.
hashtag. You need to be consistent on the hashtag. You can't justice for Brink on this one.
Hashtag bring it back.
I do
In the
have
comments.
a couple of notes. First of all, thank you to our Wigs members. We love our Wigs, the WDWNT Interglobe Society. Thank you guys so much for watching, Deep in the Plus, for being with us, for hanging out. We appreciate you. If you want to learn how to be part of our Wigs family, you can go to patreon.com/WDWNT. Also, for Deep in the Plus next week, we're going to be into spooky season, so we're going to do Frankenweenie. So we'll make sure everybody is up and ready for that one. So Frankenweenie is next week. The week after that, we're actually going to break and go in to do a Star Wars Ahsoka recap with the Star Wars team, which is Desi and Nick and Ron and me. And yeah, you got to watch it before then, dude. Have you not watched it?
I know, man. No.
Have you?
So
Are you
far
still
behind.
watching Rebels?
No, I stopped rewatching Rebels.
Okay, well, all right. So earmuffs on. But we were giving everybody a week after Ahsoka to be able to kind of catch up on it, and then we'll do Ahsoka on the 11th. So next week is Frankenweenie. The week after is Ahsoka, and then we'll get back into some Halloween before the end of Halloween season. Also, a programming note: no Park Center this Sunday. We are now having an auction. So on WDWNT is having a fall cleaning auction on Sunday, October 1st, from 7 p.m. until ? So if you guys are watching, and again, usually we like to give you a heads up for programming purposes about PC Park Center, but no Park Center this Sunday night because there will be a ginormous fall cleaning auction for the network. So check that out, and then again, come back and hang out with us on Deep in the Plus, and then every other Sunday night, be with us for Park Center at 9 p.m. Now is the time. Here we go. This is the big one. Patrick, I'm going to start with you, buddy, and I hope you're ready because I feel like Alley Cat Strike is your movie. I feel like you've said something about it several times. I watched it. I have opinions, but Patrick Hackett, would you recommend this movie?
Absolutely. This is the epitome of late 90s, early 2000 made for TV movie, especially Disney Channel made for TV movies. The swing music is fun. The costumes are fun. It's a very paint by numbers movie that's not really well acted, but it's 90 minutes. It's quick, and it's going to hit you in the nostalgia. It's going to be fun. You're going to laugh. Go watch it, and then go bowling, or go bowling and come back and watch it. Either way, if you're in Walt Disney World, go to Splitsville. Splitsville's so underrated, and make sure they play Alley Cat Strike right down the middle.
Okay, Desi.
I'm sorry. I don't think I can. It's with Brink. I said it stood the test of time. It was such a good movie. It was so cute. With this one, it's so predictable. It's so cheesy. I liked it back in the day, but it wasn't my favorite back then. My favorites were Brink and Xenon, and when I watched Xenon again now, I was like, no, you know what? I can't recommend Xenon. But at least Xenon had a good soundtrack, and I didn't love this soundtrack. It wasn't acted well. It wasn't written well. It's still fun. If you got nothing else to do, maybe. If you've gone through all of the other DComs, well, at least if you've seen Brink and you want to watch another DCom, maybe watch this one. But it's not at the top of my list. I'm sorry.
I have no fear of saying I would not recommend it. I think I mean, there's so much else to watch on Disney Plus, and there are over 100 DComs, and I would put this one near the bottom. I wouldn't say it's the worst. It's not unwatchable. But I certainly wouldn't go, you know what you need to watch? You need to watch Alley Cat's Strike. So I know this is Patrick. I know you're shocked. You are hurt. I get it. I understand. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
You know what? If there was an Alley Cat Strike, like a pin or something on the auction, I'd buy it for you. I would.
Thanks.
I would buy it for you. But yeah, no, there are so many other things to watch on Disney Plus, and our time is at a premium now that we have so much content. There's Elemental dropped. If you haven't seen that, that's on there now. We've got um, what else? Haunted
I
Mansion hits
mentioned
October
on
4th.
October 4th, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go watch
So,
that.
Patrick, you're a fan, right?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I gave it, I think, 7 out of 10.
Okay. And
It
Des, you
is
saw
my
it.
son's favorite movie. Literally, he had like homework to do at school, and one of the questions was, "What's your favorite movie?" And he wrote down Haunted Mansion. So, yeah,
That's funny.
we loved it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on here and reviewing this. I appreciate you both so much. Thank you for doing this. Desi, we'll see you again for Star Wars Ahsoka. Patrick, you're gonna have to find something else that we can watch, just you and me, and talk about. Maybe it's Haunted Mansion. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Although spoilers, he already told you whether or not he recommended it.
Yeah. Well, maybe we've already done the review of the original Eddie Murphy. Alicia and I did that one, so you guys can go back and check out that review. It might surprise you. You never know. So again, thank you guys so much for
And
being with us.
Muppets Haunted Mansion.
And Muppets Haunted Mansion, we did
Spooky
that
time
review
is
too.
upon us.
Yes, it is spooky time, and we're gonna have to dig deep this year because we've gone Deep in the Plus has been on a while, and we've covered a lot of things. So we've done Nightmare Before Christmas, Patrick's favorite movie. We've done Haunted Mansion, the original Eddie Murphy, Halloween Town, the original one of those, Hocus Pocus, and Hocus Pocus 2. So that's why Frankenweenie, and then again maybe we'll do the Haunted Mansion, but also there's some cool Halloween specials, and also I'd like to talk about Once Upon a Studio once that drops on Disney Plus too. So everybody have a great week. Thank you guys so much for being with us on Deep in the Plus, and we hope to see you guys again next time. Go check out some of the other reviews we've done too, because there's a lot of good
Like
content
Brink.
there. And
Go watch
Sure.
Brink.
go watch Brink.
Yes.
For these kids, go watch Brink, would you? And have a great week. We'll see you next time.